Yes, guys, switch on your videos. Yeah, it is again too much late now. Switch on your videos, everyone. Yes, we have at present Khushbu, Khushi, Pushpendra Pal Singh, Rakesh Raika, Ravi Raman, Rohan Modi, and Shaurya Dixit in the class. Am I audible to you? Yeah, on with your videos, everyone now. Khushi Shekhawat, Khushbu, Rohan, Ravi Raman. वीडियोस ऑन चाहिए मेरे को. Has done it. What about others? मैं भी बाहर निकाल दूंगा क्लास के सबको नहीं तो. Sorry also. Khushbu Rathod, where is your video? Are you there in the class, Khushbu?
Yes sir.
ऑन करो वीडियो. खुशी.
सर मैंने ऑन किया बट शायद कुछ इशू आ रहा है.
रिजॉल्व कराओ. और खुशी किधर है? खुशी शेखावत, रवि रमन, रोहन मोदी. इधर है सब ये लोग. खाली ऑन करके आप लोग फिर वो इंटरेक्ट तो करते नहीं है, तो फिर क्या फायदा पढ़ाने का मुझे बताइए. और रिसर्च जैसा सब्जेक्ट पढ़ रहे हो, बिजनेस रिसर्च मेथड्स. हाँ, no, I'm sharing the slide. Okay, so we have, I think, 2-3 more things which are remaining, and then we will continue further. Okay. We have studied about the types of variables on that day: qualitative, quantitative, discrete, continuous variable, dependent and independent variable, and we have seen the labels of dependent and independent variables also. Background variable we just studied, moderating variable we studied that the impact of the other variables are there, extraneous variable, intervening variable, and suppressor variable. These are the three further more variables which are there. Okay, so we have to study about these things. So extraneous variable. anyone, anyone can tell me about extraneous variable? So three more variables: extraneous, intervening, and suppressor. These three more are there. Yes. Anyone else? Anyone in the class? You can tell me about these variables. Come on. Yes.
Sir, like
Yes.
extraneous means external, so those external variables which
Yes, yes. शिल्पा जी क्लास में हो? हाँ क्लास में हो, क्लास में. हाँ जी.
sir, like those external variables which can change the result of an experiment or
Which
a
can?
process.
Yes, yes.
So,
Which can?
which can change the result of an experiment or a process.
Okay. So, fine. What else? Actually, they distort. They are not a part of that particular research which we are doing. Extraneous means something extra or something from the outside, you can say. Okay, so what happens at what happens, and in most of the studies, the identification of single independent variable and the measurement of its effects on the dependent variable we do. Okay, but still there are several other variables which might be which may affect the hypothesized independent variable and the dependent variable relationship, right? So they can actually distort. So whatever we are expecting, our expectation can be distort, or our expecting it will not be as per our expectations, and we may be surprised that, oh, we have done something prediction and the prediction is not accordingly. So there may be some variables which may be affecting it. So these are called extraneous variable. Okay. So extraneous variables are not necessarily a part of the study. They exert a confounding effect on independent and independent relationship, and therefore it is required to be eliminated or controlled. So it will be eliminated, it has to be eliminated if it's not a part of the study, or it will be controlled when it is a part of the study. For example, you can say, suppose we are interested in examining the relationship of work status of you can say mothers and taking care of the child. Okay, so this can be one thing. So those who are working mothers, they can take care of their child less often. Okay, so this is something. So so it will not be reasonable in an instance to presume that the level of education of mothers can influence the work status, and it may impact the taking care of the child. So that can be. So here education can be one of the variable which is treated as which can be treated as an extraneous variable, because this is not a part of the study. So what two variables are there? That what two variables are the part? The two variables which are here in the in the study is that whether the working status of the women, what is the working status of the women, and to what extent she can take care of the child. So this is the, but education itself is one. So those mothers who are well educated and are also employed, they can, I think, manage it in a better way. So, but this is something which is not there. Okay, so education is treated as an extraneous variable, and then in any attempt to eliminate or control the effect of variable may be considered as a variable as a confounding variable itself. Okay, so this can be one of the example. Okay, so an appropriate way of dealing with this confounding variable is to follow the stratification process. So we have to just stratify the things. Okay, which involves a separate analysis for the different levels of the confounding variables. Okay, so here the education is one of the confounding variables. So what it can be done, that we have to stratify the entire data in such a way that those who are educated, primarily educated, or those who are secondarily educated, or graduates and postgraduates. So the way it is rising, it will tell us that to what extent there will be a difference. So here we have actually controlled the confounding variable by using the stratification policy. Okay, so this can be one of the things. So, and for this purpose we can have you can say a cross tabulation type of thing, or you can say means now how this cross tabulation will work along with the education, or you can say literacy of the mothers. The time they are providing to the children, or the care they are providing to the children, can be cross tabulated, and we can actually see the impact of the education level on the on the you can say taking care of the child by the mothers. So this is one of the very good example of, you can say, extraneous variable. So very correctly said by Shaurya that extraneous variables are those which can actually change, or which can actually you can say distort the prediction which we are doing. Okay, so this needs to be controlled, and if it is, or you can say it needs to be eliminated. So if it is an external one, or we are not considering as a part of the study, it can be eliminated. But if it is considered as a part of the study, we can at least you can say control this to certain extent. Okay, so next type of variable is intervening variable. So what is an intervening variable? Anyone? Yes. Yes, Khushbu, what is intervening variable? Intervening. Intervening variable. Yes, yes, come on. Intervening variable.
So which explains the link between two variables, or
See, intervening variable is also a type of, you can say, extraneous variable, but at the same time, the effect of this intervening variable cannot be seen as such. It cannot be, but it can be felt. Okay, so an intervening variable, you can say, it affects the observed phenomenon, but cannot be seen, cannot be measured, or you can say you cannot manipulate it directly. Okay, and its effect can only be inferred from the effects of the relationship between the dependent and the independent variables. Okay, so that's what we will be doing. Okay, so on the observed phenomenon, that the relationship between dependent and the independent, this intervening variable may be having some impact, but this impact cannot be measured, neither it can be manipulated, it cannot be seen also, but there is an impact we can see. So for example, just now I've taken an example of you can say the work status of women and taking care by them. Okay, so in such a situation, what we can do, for example, some motivation, some counseling, these can be the intervening variable. Okay, so now to what extent motivation has been done, to what extent counseling has been done, this cannot be actually you can say measured. It cannot be judged also, it cannot be seen also, but there can be the impact of this motivation and counseling, and you can see the impact of this motivation and counseling on taking care of the mothers by the for their children. Okay, so if they will be motivated properly, and they will be, convinced properly, they can take a proper care of their children, right? So this is called intervening variable. Now last one remaining for today's discussion is suppressor variable. Now what is a suppressor variable? I think only Shaurya Dikshit in your class is studying, rest all I should mark absent to all of you, is it so? Come on, what is suppressor variable? Anyone? Suppressor variable. Yes. Khushi Shekhawat. Yes, come on.
So which delays the
Sorry,
this
your class comprises of only you, I suppose. Anyways, carry on.
sir, like which does not have anything important in it. Like it delays the result of an experiment.
Which
Delays the result of an experiment.
delays the result.
Like it does not have any effect on the experiment. Like I don't know.
Okay, what else? So these are also the variable which actually has a two-way impact, you can say. So existence of this variable actually will, uh, you know, uh, you can say cancel down the effect of the two variables which are in the practice. Okay, so in many cases we can have a good reason to believe that the variables of interest are they have a relationship within themselves, but our data actually fails to establish any such relationship. So there is a relationship, but the data actually fails. Now, why the data is failing is just because of this availability of this suppressor variable. Okay, so some hidden factors may be suppressing the true relationship between the two original variables, that is dependent and independent, but there is a factor which actually, cancels it down. So such a factor related or referred to as a suppressor variable because it suppresses the actual relationship between the two variables. Or you can say the suppressor variable suppresses the relationship by being positively correlated with one of the variables in the relationship and negatively correlated with the another variable. So it actually cancels down the relationship. Okay, so you can say the true relationship between the two variables, that is dependent and independent, will reappear when the suppressor variable is controlled for. So such type of suppressor variable must also be controlled in order to establish a good relationship. For example, you can say it means lower age. So age is one of the low age may pull the education up, but at the same time income down. Why? Because people of low age maybe will be very highly educated, but at the same time because they have less experience, what will happen? Their income will be low. So if we see the relationship between the education and the income, this age factor may actually be a suppressor variable. So in contrast, you can say high age may pull the income up but the education down. Why? Because those who are of a higher age in India, particularly, they may not be that much educated as compared to those who are lower in age, but at the same time, the income will be very high. So at this time, the age factor in the lower and the higher, in both the ways, may affect the relationship between the two variables, that is the income and the age itself. Okay, so there will be a you can say effectively cancelling out relationship between education and income, I suppose. Sorry, not the age and income. So there will be a cancellation of the things between education and income because these factors work in two directions, and that's why there can be. So such type of variables must also be properly controlled for, and then only it can be easier to you can say define it. Fine. So this is all about your types of the variables we have just now discussed about. Okay. So up till here only, from tomorrow and onwards, we will study some another topic related to your this particular work. right? So any problem till now you can ask me. Yes. Anyone? Anything you would like to ask regarding? Yes. Yes, sure. Anything else? Anything anyone else would like to ask about? But please be on time. You guys do not come on time, right? Or otherwise, I don't know. There was some problem today. You might have joined. I was not able to see you. I don't know. But I started my class well on time. Only Rakesh was there.
Actually, sir, there
Rakesh,
were
Anuman. What happened to your class, Shaurya, today?
so there were two links in the post section. So half of the class was in that teams. I don't
So
know why.
what session is going on at the same time? How come it is possible?
No, for BRM only, there were two. There were option to join the second class also under BRM only. I don't know what happened, but then I sent the correct link.
So BRM two classes were means or and both were mine. Is it so?
No, so I don't know because there were yes, you was also your name was mentioned there.
You're not audible, or you're not audible.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry. What happened?
There were one BGMC student and one more student from our class. We all three were waiting for you, and your name was visible that it was your teams. So we thought that it's the same class, but then we realized that class is going in some different teams.
Okay. So there was some confusion. Anyways, so let us do not have confusions in future. If you have some confusions, please do call me immediately. So therefore, if there is any confusion, it can be accordingly resolved. Right?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
let me take the attendance now. Harshit Kumawat, Khushi Shekhawat, Puneet Yadav, Pushpendra Pal Singh,
Present, sir.
Rakesh Raika, Ravi Raman, Rohan Modi, and Shaurya.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye bye. See you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, bye bye.